Okay, so we went over the different intervals, and interval just meaning the space between the notes, the space from, or the distance from your root note. It's your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And then we talked about the major and minor intervals. So major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, major seventh, and then with our minor, minor second, minor third, minor fifth, minor sixth, and minor seventh, right? So now we're gonna get into what's called, because now I'm trying to explain to you and teach you what chords are, right? And I'm giving you the theory. It's not so important for you to memorize the theory right now. But the theory is gonna help is as I start teaching, because I can just show you how to play something. And it's like, okay, you'll be happy, it'll sound good and everything like that. But what I wanna help you do is to help you to know the theory that I didn't know when I first started learning. So there was things I was doing and I didn't know why it worked, why it sounded good. But then I didn't know that I could take it even further than what I knew how to do. Because I didn't know why it worked. I just knew something sounded good. I was just copying what other people do, right? I can show you how to do all of that really quickly, but I want to give you the theory. So don't get hung up if it starts to sound a little complicated. We're just worried about getting this down as a framework so that as you start to play, you'll know what you're doing. You'll be like, okay, oh, I know what this is because we talked about that before. And that's going to help you to know what things you can change, what you can play, what you could add on, what you could take away, and you could start to find your own sound. So now what we're going to talk about is we're talking about triads, right? So this thing called triad, I got the Google, I wanted the Google definition. So a triad consists of 3 notes stacked in consecutive thirds. Triad is also called a chord as well as a harmony. And harmony also refers to chord progression. The lowest note of the triad when it is stacked in thirds is called the root, right? We'll get into that's, once again, suggestions, not rules. We'll get into that later. That's more advanced. That's when we're talking about inversions, but we're not going to talk about inversions just yet. So to make all of that kind of make sense, kind of come together to what we talked about the intervals, right? And that's what it goes. So what it's saying is that a triad is an interval of 3 notes, right? And when they say in consecutive thirds, what they mean is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So they're talking about a major triad. At this, like right now, what they're talking about is a major triad. I don't know if I 100% like that definition because it kind of goes a little off, but I don't want to confuse you any more than you need to be. So so this is what you would call a C major triad. Remember, we talked about the major, and I'm purposely repeating myself over and over again. It may get a little bit annoying, but this is to help you just remember. This is a C major triad. Why? Because it's 3 intervals away, but it's 3 major intervals. We're not dealing in the second, minor, minor third, and all those different things. It's 3 intervals away. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So these 3 notes, they come together to make the C chord. So the C chord is a basic to almost any song you're gonna play. There's alterations you can do, but a C chord, if you're playing in the key of C, is practically gonna be in every song you play, right? There's small exceptions, but for the most part, it's gonna be in every chord that you play. So let's kind of run through the different types of chords. So that's the C major chord. And when we get to application, I'm gonna show you how to use it. Let me see if I should break it up. Yeah, I'm gonna break this up. I'm gonna go into the other chord types in the next one.